So let's just dive right in. We're going to talk about something that's running a huge part of your life, a system that most of us don't even know exists. I want you to really think about that for a second. Seriously, from the moment you woke up this morning to right now, listening to this, how many of your actions were actual, conscious, deliberate choices? You might be a little shocked by the answer. Okay, so the alarm goes off. You get out of bed. That that feels like a choice, right? But what about the very next thing you did? Did you actually think to yourself, I am now making the conscious decision to pick up my phone? Or did your hand just kind of move on its own? Did you find yourself scrolling through the same couple of apps, almost like a reflex? Here's the thing. For most of us, our morning wasn't really a string of choices at all. It was more like following a script, a pre-written program that we just ran. And this script, it doesn't just run your morning, it's running so much more of your life than you realize. And this brings us to a huge idea, the illusion of control. We all walk around feeling like we're in the driver's seat, intentionally steering our lives. But what if, just below the surface, there's this underlying system of patterns that's quietly setting the course for us? And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly explains the trap we all fall into. We see our automatic habits, our gut reactions, and we just go, well, that's just me. I'm just a procrastinator, or I'm just not a people person. We're confusing the pattern with our identity. And that one little mistake is exactly what keeps us stuck. So what do we call this system that's running in the background? Well, the source material gives it a great name: Autopilot. Let's get a really clear idea of what we're talking about. So you see, it's not random. It is a highly structured system. It's built from everything you've ever done on repeat, every environment you've ever been in, and all the beliefs you've picked up along the way. It's pretty much the default software your brain loves to run to get through the day. And this comparison makes it crystal clear. A conscious choice takes energy. It's effortful. It's deliberate. Autopilot is the total opposite. It's automatic. It's easy. It feels like nothing, precisely because the pathways are already built. And that is exactly why our brain will default to it every single chance it gets. And that's the key thing to get here. Autopilot isn't some deep personal flaw. It's actually a feature. It's your brain's ultimate efficiency hack. Your brain is designed to save energy, so it turns anything you do repeatedly into an automatic script. I mean, can you imagine if you had to consciously decide how to brush your teeth every single morning? You'd be exhausted before you even got dressed. So let's be super clear. The autopilot system itself is essential. We need it to function. The danger isn't having an autopilot. The danger is letting it run your life completely unchecked, without your awareness. It's the unexamined autopilot that causes all the problems. I love this quote from James Clear because it just says it all, doesn't it? You can have the biggest goals, the best intentions in the entire world, but if your underlying automatic systems, your autopilot, are programmed to do something else, which one do you think is going to win? The system. You will almost always fall back to the level of your systems. So, okay, what really happens when we let these unexamined systems run our lives? Well, there are real serious costs. This isn't just about which app you open in the morning. This stuff can literally shape the entire direction of your life without you ever giving your consent. Let's take something called career drift. We've all seen this. Someone ends up in a career that looks amazing on paper. They're successful, making good money, but inside they feel completely hollow. Why? Because the decision to go down that path wasn't a real choice. It was an autopilot script running programs like, I should be stable, or this is what my parents wanted. Their behavior followed the script, not their own internal voice. And of course, it happens on a smaller scale too. Just think about procrastination. We beat ourselves up, right? We think it's a moral failing, that we lack discipline. But so often, it's just an autopilot loop. The instant you feel that little bit of discomfort from a hard task, an automatic pattern just kicks in to avoid that feeling. Check your phone, grab a snack, do anything else. It's not you. It's a program that's running. So if we know these patterns are running things, what on earth do we do about it? Well, the very first step, and this is absolutely critical, is to change your mindset. You have to make a pivot from self-judgment to just neutral, objective curiosity. This is our default question, isn't it? We see a behavior we don't like and we immediately attack ourselves. Ugh, why am I like this? But that question, it's loaded with judgment. It leads absolutely nowhere except feeling ashamed and frustrated. Now look at this question. What pattern is this? It feels totally different, right? It's neutral. It's the question a scientist would ask. It creates this little bit of distance between you and the behavior, which allows you to actually observe it without getting all wrapped up in the emotion of it. And that shift right there is where you take your power back. Creating that distance is what makes change possible. Curiosity is the key that unlocks the whole thing, while judgment just keeps it bolted shut. Okay, so let's actually put this into practice. We're going to move from the theory to a super simple, actionable exercise you can do right now. And the goal is not to change anything yet. It's just to see, just to observe. Here it is. It's a simple observation exercise. First, just replay your day so far in your mind. Second, try to write down 5 things you did automatically. Maybe it was checking social media, maybe it was the way you reacted in a conversation. And third, and this is the most important rule, do it with zero judgment. This isn't a test, you're just collecting data. Be an honest, neutral observer of your own life. I want to leave you with this final, powerful idea, because it's the ultimate takeaway. Once you start observing your patterns, you realize something profound. You are not those patterns. You are the consciousness that is aware of them. And if you can see a pattern, you are no longer controlled by it. You are free to choose something different. So what pattern will you choose to observe first?